edRise's broadcast. I need to encourage all the older people in the business world and those who have discouraging circumstances. I'm intrinsically motivated. Keep a positive attitude no matter what age and no matter what your circumstances. I'm inspired by all the Dakinis, Dr. Arikana Shiomborikwa, Aisha Curry, Sandra Appiah, Kamala Harris. I have the e.l.f. mascara from Walgreens. I worked for Walgreens 5 years, and I recommend you go to the Walgreens at Spanish River Boulevard. You can get e.l.f. non-toxic mascara for only $7. Bill Gates is a global auditor and came up with 200 billion for Africa. I came up with 50 billion for 31 countries, but I have videos to describe my audit and why we came up with a figure of 50 billion. Jean-Bertrand Aristide is a global auditor and came up with 21 billion for Haiti's independence debt. And of course, Lynn Nuduji also described what happened in Haiti, really corroborating what Jean-Bertrand Aristide said. Dr. Arikana Shirimori is a global auditor, and she exposed the IMF loan interest exploitation and financial manipulation. It caused all these countries to be in debt and not be able to develop their countries. There's nothing for the people in those countries, and they come to the US and get deported. Professor Victor Gao is a global equity auditor. Professor Zhang Weiwei is a global economist. It would have been so easy to do to leave my sons in Jamaica to go to school because my mother bought a house in front of the elementary school. I only had to jump the fence to go across the street to school every morning. It was so easy and safe. A judge was needed for this situation with a child in the gifted class. A mother who has been working since she was 17, house equity from the mother's family's business, Denton's Patties in Jamaica, went to New York, came to Florida's three-star bakery where the husband had worked. We just want to keep women and children safe and stop the misogyny. So misogyny is the type of thing you can say, I guess it depends on your circumstances. How hot is it? Well, the poorer you get, the less rights you have, so misogyny gets worse. When you hurt women, you hurt children. It doesn't matter how good houses look. If your children don't have any values to be keeping them as adults with integrity, it doesn't matter how good the houses look. So we're doing the audit. This is some of the audit pictures. This is water. This is a man in Boca Raton and water is being wasted. This is so dramatic, that's why I decided to put it here, but this is some of the contents of the audit. 2015, Bill Gates hired Lee Yinhua as the director of China Country Office at Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. That's the job I want. The court agrees that Trump's administration should put sanctions on the ICC. And we have the Africans in court. The two American judges apologized to the Africans, actually. And then we have the ICJ. It's not really clear yet. The attorneys we're talking to, it's not really clear where we need to go. Trump said that they weaponized the U.S. court. I feel like the U.S. court treated Donald Trump like a clown, and he and his people are always in the court. I was in American court, and I did a deposition. I was on the witness stand. So I noticed the difference between what I went through and what he went through. And Trump said we won the case at the ICC, but they will not win this case that we are bringing at the ICC. So a domestic court did not have a guilty verdict for anyone in the Nicole Simpson's murder case because it's a classic misogyny which turns into murder. First, if you ask the African Americans, they say drugs were involved. Well, The African American state trooper was in my house. He damaged the kitchen, but he didn't leave any drugs there. And he also damaged my car. And our sisters have no idea how it happened. You can see what a bloody scene it was. All America saw that, but when I question Americans, I try to survey the public, all the strangers. I ask them all the time. They didn't think anything of this woman, white woman being murdered like that. And now we get to the stage where it got worse. So I put some acronyms and I say the book would be called Run You, Your Family, and Your Country into the Ground. The acronyms in the book are OFNA and WAPA. OFNA is the Obama Free Phone Nigger Gang Stalking Bullying Attacks. WAPA is the White Approval and Permission of Attacks. So although you can sue the United States in a domestic court, we really have to tackle this carefully because it's political, social, and we don't want it to get worse. So the evidence shows that there are gangs of African American state troopers, sheriffs perpetrating outrageous government conduct and violating people's Fourth Amendment rights. And it is so widespread and prevalent that I think that there are white people who approve it. I personally went to Broward County and experienced that same kind of attack down in Broward County, but the it must be a gang thing because the ones up here were in the house, pushed me out of government, and I finally told the CIA because the FBI sort of minimized what was happening. Well, since I'm a global business mentor, I decided to promote one really good business each week. DigiCage in India, I really want to promote Tushar Agarwal. They do digital marketing, e-commerce, and social media. So I just want to say it was not about the house. This was the house where my son and I were living, and he tested gifted at this school right here at 6 years old. It was not about the house, it was about the gifted class. It's just values. So that was my son with my grandmother in Jamaica. Would have been so simple to leave him there if I could have imagined that the situation would have gotten so horrible in the United States. He would have been safe right there at this house, and you go across the street to elementary school. It would have been so easy to do. Two of these boys are gifted. My son is gifted, and my nephew is gifted. My nephew is now a PhD in neurosurgery. So Frank Pepito has been to 30 countries. He said we should not say have a nice day. He said we should tell people enjoy life. Frank also says that as a sound engineer traveling to 30 countries, music can bridge the gap of cultures and bring peace. John Sarbanes has a new video. I really admire him for the Bill for the People Act, which did not pass the Senate and the House, but he says no, that we have to work hard with integrity. Aisha is my favorite celebrity. Aisha is a Jamaican Chinese, and she has the most beautiful children. Riley is so beautiful. And Steph's such a good husband. Thank you.